Hello and welcome to my channel, Khuromus here. The time has come, we are adding a second title to this channel. I have been playing Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader for a few days and I must say that I am pleasantly impressed. Since I highly recommend this title to you, I will start by adding a guide series to help you understand better how to play in case you're interested. Even me, who I consider myself a senior player, I have still struggled a bit in the first 3 to 5 hours of gameplay to fully grasp all the mechanics. So with these introductory guides, hopefully I can help you to accelerate your learning curve. I must say, however, this is not a critique to OCAT, as they have done an excellent job adding a very good tutorial plus a rule book explaining most of the details. However, the game is a little bit complex and you need time to familiarize yourself with its mechanics. I love the depth and strategy involved in the combat and fighting, and I feel it is very rewarding. Fellow Khuromus, we are almost at 1000 subs. If I can get your support to achieve this milestone, I will be so grateful. As you know, I usually stream Tuesdays and Thursdays 5 PM UTC, currently doing an honor mode run with self-imposed rules. If we get the 1000 subs, I promise I will add a camera to further improve the stream. See you there. With the intro out of the way, let's have a quick overview of which characteristics each character has. The first one is my favorite one, weapon skill. This will increase your chance to hit when you're attacking somebody in melee range. The second one is ballistic skills. This attribute will increase our chance to hit with ranged attacks. Strength will help with physical checks and it will increase your unarmed damage. Also keep in mind that you need 45 strength in order to be able to wear heavy armor. Toughness will increase your hit points, which in this game is called wounds, and also make you more resilient to certain effects. Agility will increase your movement speed, your dodge chance, and will also reduce enemies' dodge if you attack them in melee combat. Intelligence, it is strictly linked to one of the doctrines aka classes of the game, the Adept. Perception, it is used to reduce the chance to dodge your ranged attacks, and it will also affect your initiative. Willpower, it is used to resist some psychic powers, as well as improving your own psychic powers if you are psychic. Lastly, fellowship, it is your main stat if you are the leader doctrine, and will also improve your charisma skills, so to say. So now let's see how we can build our character for better efficiency in melee and ranged attacks. So for a melee attack, the chance to hit will always be 100%, and then the target of the melee attack has one chance to defend the attack by dodging and another chance to deflect the attack by parrying. Rogue Trader will use a 1d100, which means a dice of 100 faces, as opposed to the 1d20 or a dice of 20 faces that Baldur's Gate uses. So in this example, for the target to dodge the attack, they need a 9 or less. They rolled a 55, so the attack was not dodged. And for them to parry the attack, they have no chance since our weapon skill is far more superior than his. So as a recap, since the attack was not dodged or parried, the attack lands and the damage is calculated. So in order to cancel the enemy's chance to dodge, we need to have a little bit of perception, plus depending on the weapon we can cancel some of the dodge chance. If we want to increase our dodge chance to prevent the enemy landing a melee attack on us, agility will directly increase our chance to dodge. Also, certain armors, like light and medium armor, will let us dodge a little bit more versus the heavier armors, which will reduce our agility but will provide better damage mitigation, that we will explain later. To avoid the enemy parrying our attack, we must have a high weapon skill. If we have more weapon skill than the enemy, it is very likely that we completely cancel their chance to parry. Also keep in mind that us or the enemy must have a melee weapon in order to try to parry an attack. At the same time, if we want to increase our parry chance, we just must have a high weapon skill. Higher than the enemy means more likely that we can parry their attack. For hitting in range, however, we need to see the distance, the range of the weapon and other bonuses. And then we will use our ballistic skill to see if we succeed or not. And if we successfully pass the roll, means that we hit the enemy, there will be a second roll to see if the enemy is able to dodge the attack. So in this example, we needed an 85 or less to hit. We rolled a 33, so there is a success. And then for the enemy's dodge chance, it has been cancelled out thanks to our weapon and the attacker's perception, which imposed a -45 and a -20 respectively. So he cannot dodge. So to summarize, the main takeaway here is if we want to hit successfully, we want to accumulate ballistic skill and perception. On the other hand, if we want to defend ourselves from ranged attacks, having high agility plus using cover will help us out. Now that we know how to successfully hit enemies, let's see how the damage is calculated and what we can do to reduce incoming damage. So let's see a sample. We have here Pascal equipped with an Omniscient Axe, 15 to 19 damage. This already has strength included into it, and 15% armor penetration, effectively ignoring 15% of the enemy's armor. So now that we know all this, let's go ahead and attack an enemy, and we inflict a critical, it seems, and let's see the damage breakdown. Base damage is 12 to 16 plus 3 of strength, and then we have other bonifiers provided by the character. In this example, fresh target and tactical knowledge. So we add up all the bonifiers, and then after the roll we get that our damage is 35 in this example. Now let's learn how this incoming damage is reduced by armor and deflection. Deflection will reduce incoming damage by a flat amount. So if we have 2 deflection, we're going to minus that to the damage. And then we will apply the armor of the target. Armor will always be a percentage, so we will apply that percentage to the damage after applying deflection. Coming back to our example, there is no deflection, but the enemy has a 20% armor, so he's going to reduce incoming damage by 20%. However, we have a thick, heavy axe, so we're going to cancel a 15% of his armor, leaving this defenseless fella with only 5% armor reduction, bringing the hit from 35 damage to a total of 33. To wrap up the video, let's see how the deployment works and how to use cover to better dodge enemy ranged attacks. First thing to know is there is no stealth mechanic in this game, so as long as you approach a group of enemies, this menu will come up, asking you to prepare for battle and to place the character in the position you prefer. Based on their current position, you can move them depending on their movement speed and place them in the spot of your preference. It is also important to highlight that at this point we do not know the initiative order. We are not sure who is going first and who is acting last. Once we click the button Start the Battle, then we will be able to see the order of initiative. So keep in mind, enemies can attack us first. So it is very important in this deployment phase to really hide well our glass cannons and weak characters by keeping them far or by deploying them nearby cover. So full cover is provided by the obstacles which have a skull on the shield. This will reduce the chance of hitting the character by 60%, while partial cover is represented by just a shield without any skull. This will reduce the chance to hit by a 35%. Keep in mind, however, these numbers may vary depending on the difficulty settings that you have. So that's all for this guide. In the next one we will cover advanced attacks and mechanics like the burst attack you're seeing now currently happening in the screen, which is an absolute massacre. We will also cover momentum, critical chance and damage types. It took me way too long to put this guide together, so let me know in the comments if you find it useful or If you think there are some areas that need some improvements, I'm very happy to hear moving forward, and see you very soon with some more content about this amazing game. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Adios!